Media technologies were a massive part when creating our teaser trailer and ancillary text. To do our research, planning, construction and evaluations, we used the IMAX provided by the school. To start off our project, the first stage we had to complete was research. YouTube was our main source of information as we wanted to find films already on the market that fit in our genre to give us inspiration. We picked romantic thriller as our genre, which led us to analysing the films The Perfect Guy and Berlin Syndrome, and the TV series Three Girls and Murdered by My Boyfriend. We studied the mise-en-scène, sound, cinematography and the editing techniques in order to have a clear understanding on what makes a successful romantic thriller film. Alongside this, we used the website IMDb through Google. This website allowed us to find out ratings and reviews on films in our genre. We did this so we could see if our choice in genre was popular. We also used YouTube to search for trailers to familiarise ourselves with the style of a trailer and to figure out conventions we could either challenge or develop. On Google, we also searched what makes a good trailer so we could find out eye-catching features to include, especially for our target market. Another website we used on Google was SurveyMonkey to create a questionnaire for the public to complete. Our reason for this was to find out what people liked to see in a trailer in which we could incorporate in our own one. We shared the link for this on Google Classroom as well, which allowed our class to access our questionnaire, which was helpful as they were within our target audience age range. To complete the research, we used a mix of both IMAX and our iPhones. When it came to planning, our iPhones were a major use as we had a group chat to talk about when and where we were planning to film and if we had to bring in any props. Another use of Google was using Google Maps to research locations and find out how to get there and how long it would take. This helped us think of realistic locations to shoot at. Lastly, another website I used was Celtx to write up our script in a professional format. When it came to constructing our teaser trailer, we used a lot of equipment in order to reach a high standard. The camera we used to film all of our footage was the Canon EOS 1300D. We wanted to use a high quality camera as it enabled us to change settings so that the lighting and focus was exactly how we wanted it to be, as on an iPhone we wouldn't have been able to do that. For example, when filming the picnic scene, we took a point of view shot when our character was surprising his girlfriend. We used a focus ring on the camera to first have his hands in focus, and then when he revealed the picnic to her, we slowly changed focus to be the actual picnic itself. We wanted to use this technique so it would put the audience in the character's shoes. The reason we needed to alter the lighting for some scenes was because we wanted to use a range of low-key and high-key lighting throughout our film trailer. For example, in our scenes where the characters were happy, like our date scene, we made sure the lighting was very bright. However, when we filmed the scenes of her boyfriend turning into a stalker like the alleyway scene, we wanted the lighting to be dark as it is a key feature in a psychological thriller. So, to do this we changed the ISO so the right amount of light was coming in. We also set the camera to manual mode so we were able to change the focus ourselves. The lens we used was 18 to 55mm. We also experimented with the 75 to 300mm lens when shooting close-ups. However, it was quite difficult to work with as it was very zoomed in, and so we stuck to our original lens. Alongside this, we used a tripod so that all of our shots were straight and steady, again adding to the polished look we wanted to achieve. An example of using the tripod was to tilt the camera on our date scene. To record the audio for our voiceover, we used an iPhone as the quality was much clearer when comparing it to our camera audio. To edit our footage, we used the software Final Cut Pro, which allowed us to create a professional teaser trailer. The first step we took was adding on our footage onto a new timeline, which then allowed us to arrange our clips in order and add in effects that would improve its appearance. To start with, we chose the main parts of each scene as the shots had to be short and snappy, which is a main convention used in film trailers. To do this, we used a trimming tool. One example is our date scene. We shortened the footage so we could just show a part of them laughing, conveying their happiness. In order to achieve match on action, we used a blade tool, allowing us to have cuts throughout one scene to speed up the pace. Final Cut Pro also allowed us to mute all of our clips, which we wanted to do because the camera audio was very unclear. On top of the clips, we placed a mix of soundtracks and sound effects we got from Final Cut Pro itself and Google and YouTube too. On this software, we were able to adjust the volume of our sound and as well as this allow the soundtrack to fade. This was helpful as it allowed a smoother transition when our soundtrack changed from being chirpy to an eerie, suspicious sound. To add to this change in music, we faintly added in a dramatic sound effect found on Final Cut Pro, which again the software allowed us to lower the volume in order to allow continuity. By adding in sound effects like the slamming door, it added realism into our scenes as we muted the original audio of it. We also used Final Cut Pro to provide us with the CCTV filter, which we added onto our shots filmed in the police station. This added realism as our aim was to replicate CCTV footage in a police station interrogation room. One of the main tools we used was a stabilizer. For some of our shots we were not able to use a tripod, causing our footage to be quite shaky. However, by adding this tool on, it created a much neater, professional look to our scenes as it stopped the rough movements. We used the fade effect as it allowed a smoother transition between each clip, causing integration in our film trailer. For our title screen, we used a 2D font style called Minimal. We wanted a clear and simple font, as in the background we imported an animated video of red roses falling from YouTube, which we wanted to stand out more. We inserted this clip of roses as we wanted this to be our theme throughout our film trailer and ancillary text, so our media products were recognisable to the public. When we imported our voiceover audio onto Final Cut Pro, we were able to use a blade tool again to separate and rearrange the order so we can match the audio to the scenes. Once we completed the editing, we published our teaser trailer onto the school's YouTube page. We next went on to planning our ancillary text. Again, we used Google to research film posters and magazine covers, and also to search what makes good ancillary text. This helped us to know what to include in ours and get inspiration from films that link to our genre. To take our pictures, we again used a Canon EOS 1300D camera. We took the photographs in the photography studio at school, which also allowed us to use the softboxes, which really helped when trying to achieve a sinister look. To edit both our poster and magazine, we used the software Photoshop. For the poster, we decided to only have our female character in shot and have roses coming out from her, as the roses are the running theme throughout our trailer and ancillary text. We used Photoshop to change the opacity of the roses so that the further away the roses were from her, the more faint they became, symbolizing her love is shattering. We also decided later that we wanted our male character in the poster, and so we copied him from another image we took in the studio. When it came to editing the magazine cover, we realized that our image was slightly out of focus. To fix this, we put a high-pass filter on the image to make it look more HD. We also used the brightness and replace color tool to add some color back into our character's skin, as by increasing our brightness, our model's undertone went grey. We then changed the color of her jumper to red to make it fit into our theme of roses. To do this, we used a color replacement tool. Throughout using Photoshop, we referred back to YouTube to watch tutorials. To edit our evaluations, we again used Final Cut Pro and also QuickTime Player to screen record the process of editing our trailer and ancillary text on Final Cut Pro and Photoshop, and also when using search engines like Google and YouTube.